Imagine waking up one day to discover that everything you've built, your home, your job, your access to healthcare, is suddenly at risk because of a missing piece of paper. That shock, that fear is what many have faced, and it's a reality that connects the past with the present. So, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to share a story that connects the past and the present. A story about how immigration policies can upend lives in ways that are both heartbreaking and all too familiar. Right now, under Trump's immigration policies, undocumented Jamaicans in the US are facing aggressive measures. It's not only Jamaicans, but my focus is on what is happening to Jamaicans in particular. When you look at what's happening today, it's impossible not to see the striking parallels to the Windrush scandal in the UK. And for those of you who don't know about the Windrush generation in the UK, I'll give you a brief background. Between 1948 and 1971, Caribbean migrants, many of them Jamaican born, were invited to the UK to help rebuild the country after the war. These individuals were welcomed with open arms and granted indefinite leave to remain. They built lives, raised families, and contributed greatly to British society. But decades later, due to poor record keeping and introduction of a so-called hostile environment, immigration policy, these status were suddenly called into question. In 2012, the government, under the then Secretary Theresa May, introduced even stricter immigration measures. Suddenly, many long-standing residents who had never needed formal documentation found themselves classified as illegal immigrants in Britain. These consequences were truly devastating. It led to job losses. Many people had their jobs taken away because they couldn't produce the necessary paperwork, despite the fact that they may have had these jobs for years. Many were forced to return back to Jamaica. Individuals who had lived in the UK for decades were abruptly sent back to Jamaica, a country they barely remembered and their children had never seen. So this also led to family separation and lost rights. Some children who came over on their parents' passport lost all their rights when crucial paperwork were misplaced in the Home Office system. Let me tell you about Dawn. She arrived in the UK in the late 60s as part of the Windrush generation. Dawn built a beautiful life in the UK, working hard, contributing to her community and raising a family, all without worrying about formal documentation. But when the new policies hit, everything changed overnight. The documents that once secured her place in society were either lost or seemed insufficient. Suddenly, Dawn was fighting to access basic rights like housing, healthcare, and benefits. She even faced the terror of detention or deportation. Dawn's experience is a reminder of how bureaucratic errors and harsh policies can upend a lifetime of stability. I say this from a personal experience. I would have fallen into that category if I hadn't taken action back in the day and applied for naturalization in the UK, which made me legal. It's a powerful reminder that securing your status is not just a bureaucratic step, but a lifeline. Now let's shift our focus to what's happening in the US today. Undocumented Jamaicans are often the primary breadwinners for their families, both in America and back home. They live in constant fear of deportation due to overstaying or possibly missing paperwork without a clear path to legal status. The uncertainty, the fear, and the disruption in their lives mirror painful experiences of the Windrush generation. They are just similarities. They may not be due to the same situation, but there is some similarities. Another heartbreaking reality is that many young people who grew up in the UK and went to school were suddenly sent back to Jamaica. These individuals arrived in the 60s with their parents. They were invited to rebuild Britain, as I said at the beginning of this video, after World War II. And settling in the UK was once a straightforward opportunity. Yet, despite having built their lives and received their education in Britain, many found themselves abruptly faced back to Jamaica without nothing. A bureaucratic error and strict policies erased the legitimacy of their status. Even more tragically, some even died in the process due to the immense stress involved. Imagine having a home, access to healthcare, a secure life, only to lose everything because of loss of paperwork in an office where all your paperwork is supposed to be secure. Despite paying national insurance, these individuals were denied health care, and overnight they became treated like aliens in their own country. So this shows the critical importance of regularly checking your immigration status. Don't become complacent. If you're missing crucial documents, sort it out as soon as possible. I mention this because I know many people right now simply cannot afford the fees for neutralization in 2025. This is in the UK, which now cost thousands compared to about £90 back in the days. So what does this tell us? Well, whether it's Dawn's story or the current plight of undocumented Jamaicans in the US, these cases serve as a powerful reminder of the human cost of harsh immigration policies. These are not just statistics or policy debates. These are real lives, families, and communities that have been torn apart and are still being torn apart. I hope this story helps you to see the importance of securing your immigration status and staying informed. Don't let lost paperwork or bureaucratic errors strip you of the rights you've earned. Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you found this discussion meaningful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into issues that matters. Until next time, take care of yourself and stay vigilant. One love.